Oh my god, hello. So, first things first, I'm not a master editor. I'm not a seasoned YouTuber. So the display image on display is purely so you're not staring at a black screen. Um, I'm sorry in advance. But we're just talking Superman. And I just went and saw Superman Legacy. Um, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. This movie, funny enough, I was having a conversation in the car with my friends um, about the Christopher Nolan Batman movies and how they are very good in the hands of a good director, despite not having the vision and foresight to be more in touch with the character. And I feel like this movie has the opposite is on the opposite end of it. We have a very talented director who's very tied into the source material and is very invested in the perception of this hero, this symbol, this modern pinnacle of hope. And it's something that I feel has not been treated with the gravitas that has been needed. Because Cavill Superman, you didn't look to him as like a symbol of hope. He was just the biggest, strongest guy to get the job done. And hope was given to him bipartisan. And by severity of the situation, hope is given to him. He was given the symbol of hope because he was the most capable for the job. So it's like, okay, yeah, I guess I hope he does it. I hope Superman can do it because we can't, then we're dead. And it's cool, but it doesn't imbue you with that sense of togetherness. It doesn't really shed light on his values. I mean, I won't make this long when it comes to the Snyder movies because it's not my goal, but I will say this: the places where it stumbles and lacks, this movie makes up for in spades. In spades, the conflict of Clark Kent and Superman is pretty weak, but it's really not the focus of this movie. But what we get instead is very, very rich characterization of Superman, and we're back to basics. We're back to the good for the sake of good. There's not always strings attached. It's not a oh well, I mean, I guess if Lois is here, then he's very much like they have conflict. Him and Lois have conflict on how best to handle a situation where there doesn't seem to be the clearest, most concise answer on what to do from a disposition of a human because it's an international affair, but he sees it as death that can be prevented because he has the ability to do so. I can do something, so I will do something. And that's the mindset he carries through the whole movie. And it's great. It's amazing. The fundamental aspect of Superman's character is the tenet of kindness being built as a response, not as a stipulation, not as a reaction. Kindness is built as a response. And that response in kind is being replicated to other people. That is hope. That is his hope. I'm trying to stay to what the movie says because obviously there's many, many, many things I could talk about when it comes to Superman, but I'm trying to stick to what you will see when you watch this movie, and then you make your dissertations from there. So if there is a more comic heavy approach that could be taken in this, I might, but I want to keep it short and concise for the people that are just here for the movie. But I'm going to very quickly say there are a number of issues of Superman where we don't really like extrapolate too deeply on like the fears of Superman as a character. Not because it doesn't have them, but because they're very they're introspective affairs, right? So the way of peace, the way of tranquility and equality for all it's what he wants. It's what he wants in people. He wants for the goodwill that he finds to come so naturally to all these beautiful people on this planet to come just as naturally to them. That's the goal. His biggest fear is that despite all the good he does, people will continue to choose self-destruction, tear each other apart, hate each other. One, because it kind of disproves the message left to him by his parents, the imbued hope of a star citadel, a civilization. That message of help them find their way, help them become great. It would be lost. It would be lost. Because despite all he can do without forcing them down and taking them over, which takes away the point of them being great, they couldn't achieve it. And the movie touches on these subjects in a way where the message is coming to question. The message is coming to question, and the world is really not sitting back and taking it. To tie back to Man of Steel, it was a very one and done affair. They arrested him. They realized, oh shit, we can't arrest him. Big fucking thing happens. So Superman goes and deals with the big fucking thing. They're kind of just cool with him. Superman is helping throughout this entire movie. And he's public enemy number one. All the way until, the last act and things are being revealed. I want to say I'm gonna say from this point forward, we're probably gonna be spoiler territory. Because honestly, God, why are you watching a movie review on a movie that you're not gonna watch? I've been, yeah. But anyways, Nicholas Hoult is an amazing Les Luthor. David Cornswell is amazing Superman. Linda Brosnan is Rachel Brosnan. Sorry, I don't know why I said Linda. Oh my god, those three actors are fucking amazing. The embodiment of those three characters as Superman, Lois, and Lex, amazing. Top dollar. The dichotomy between Clark and Superman is not that huge, which I honestly don't really. I very seldom am torn apart by displays of the Superman double life, so I'm not too sad about it. But when there comes a point, it really feels as though this Superman, this Clark Kent, has kind of come to pass with that state of mind where, he doesn't feel as though Superman is him. Because a lot of the earlier iterations of Superman, the self-confidence, the overconfidence, not arrogance, never arrogance, but the way he patronizes his enemies, it's that lack that he has as Clark Kent, the way that he assimilates into the normal world, the lack of that comes out in Superman. The same that some would argue that anger and repressed emotion comes out in someone like Batman. And we don't really see that. He definitely puts on a clumsy front, but even when he's just with Lois by himself, he's the same guy through and through. And I know some people are not huge fans of that. They like that little dichotomy where it's split down the middle because Clark needs Superman to be an outlet and Superman needs Clark to stay in touch with humanity. But I think they do an amazing job of them being one and the same. I think it plays much stronger on the heartstrings whenever he is genuine through and through rather than half and half. Because it makes whenever he feels something so much more powerful, because it's hitting Clark Kent, it's hitting Superman, both the same. It's the same person. Man, so much. My biggest fear was when this movie came out, that the Snyder fans are just gonna rip it apart and eat it. But the second was that this is a loaded cast. When you get and see that movie, this is a loaded cast. And I was really scared how they're gonna balance it, and I literally no issue. I prefer their method of them showing up, characters showing up as needed in plot points instead of trying to make every character relevant at every point in the movie. I was very, very surprised that this is the way that it was handled, and I was very happy that this is the way it was handled. It meant a lot to me. I liked it. That being said, sumptuous choreography. I don't even know what you'd call it. It's not animation, but the way that, I guess it's still choreography, but like the flourishes on like the Green Lantern. Um, I think the only person I didn't care for was Hawkgirl, and I think it's super cool that her actress is like aware of the difference between like Kendra and Shaira, but uh, it's something I'll just have to grow into, I guess. It just nah, man. But we get Mr. Terrific. I love this Mr. Terrific. I love him. He's got swagger. He's got I don't know, he's got a real step to him, but he's much younger. A lot of Mr. Terrifics we get are in their like 30s or 40s, and I've been through this before, or they're the Apocalypse born Mr. Terrific. So it's like he's the master escape artist. He's been tortured on Genesis, and he's just jaded. But we have a genuine, honest to gosh darn genius. Or am I thinking of the wrong person? No, it's Mr. Terrific. No, but we have an honest genius. I think some of the comedies overplayed, but this movie is made for all ages, so that's not a complaint that really holds validity. It's just something that I noticed that jumped out to me. What else? I really loved Mr. Terrific. His little flourish with the T-spheres was really cool. We've never seen anything like that, and I was really upset that. No, not even upset. Why did I say upset? I was a fan. I was a fan. I really like Mr. Terrific, and I liked what they did with him. I liked him being smart, but not like he wasn't an asshole. He was like you could tell that there's a lack of like emotional clarity whenever he comes to dealing with other people, but he's open about that. He says, "Yeah, it's not my thing," and it's cool. I like so many times we get like bulldozed with these like, I'm so smart that I don't care about anything that you're gonna say. I don't like you. You're stupid. You're ugly. Your fit's trash. And it's just like he's not an asshole. He's just a dude. He's just a smart dude. Love him. Nathan Fillion is just. I love him as an actor. Guy Gardner didn't have like I like him. I like him. Again, the Justice Gang or the Justice Society or whatever they're gonna be called, they didn't have like overwhelming presence in the movie. They had their times to shine, and I liked everything I saw. Again, the only thing was Shaira. Or is it Kendra? I actually don't know. But that was my only little like tenuous gripe of any sort. My God, that movie looked awesome. There's a proton river that you're gonna see, and it looks like Legos. It's fun. It's fucking insane. The city of Metropolis is just awesome. So the thing with Metropolis is that you don't expect it to have this vibrant, like forceful nature about the people that live there, because it's as it implies, it's a metropolis. Things are very forward moving and progressive. Things are on the up most of the time. There's a really funny joke about the one bad thing that happens in Metropolis is like worth the 300 bad things that happen in Gotham, because one bad thing in Metropolis is an issue for Superman, and obviously if it's an issue for Superman, it's destroying city blocks, it's uprooting homes. That's obviously not what Batman deals with on the regular, so it's just a funny little comparison. So because of it, the nature of the city doesn't categorize and characterize these people, but these people have character. And what I mean by that is, take the Penguin. That Gotham City is riddled and built on tragedy, and these people are distrusting. They're resourceful. They're always out for their next buck, always doing what it takes to be one step ahead of the curve. That builds them. That is where they come from. That is who they are, and that is a part of them. This is, in real time, the life that they live. And because of it, you can see the direct correlation of their environment to who they are. Metropolis is, especially in this movie, is experiencing changes like none before. So the people are very the reactions are mixed. Like there's a construction workers like, this is BS. There's a falafel guy that you'll meet who helps him out, and they all believe in him. They chant for him, but they're so quick to turn because this is a time of turmoil and change. This is the time of uncertainty, and it really shows you these are not just a mindless mob. They're masses of people. And they don't do anything huge, like follow like some random citizen to their house, but you can tell the intent of these people. You can tell that they just want to be safe. You can tell that they're not entirely trusting. And it builds a strong case for Superman. Because ideally, you see him as one of these people. But he's not. Again, Lois Lane as Rachel Brosnan has an amazing line where she talks about her upbringing and not trusting people, and she says, "But you trust everyone you see, and you look at them like they're beautiful," and that is not more true than in this movie. There are so many scenes. I talked about this with my uncle. There's so many scenes in this movie that were like a second, 2 seconds, 4 seconds, where Superman looks down, sees falling debris, swoops up, catches someone, saves somebody, go. Swoops up, catches somebody, saves somebody, go. You cut all of them out, it takes maybe 5 minutes off the movie, but it means so much because our last Superman was so oriented on getting the big bad, just smashing stuff up. And even, which is insane because it comes, that Superman came from that era of damage control. We had Batman versus Superman. We had Civil War. Though the era of damage control was very prevalent. And yet we see it now, but not for the cynicism of, oh, there's a court case that's going to happen, but for the genuine care and safety of those around him. The genuine care and safety of those around him, and it pushes him to be more proactive. He's telling this justice gang, hey, be careful. Hey, people could have gotten hurt. And even the monster they take down, he asks if there's a humane way to transport it, if there's a better way to kill it that's less painful, to send it to a galactic zoo to see what's up with him. There's a genuine care about everything that he sees with his eyes. And that is sorely missed in the superhero market, especially. We have a lot of strings attached empathy. We have a lot of tragic backstories that define why we are the way we are. And again, I am a sucker for it, dude. I am Batman first. By no means am I like the most aficionado on Superman. I'm a straight Batman lover to the ends of the earth. But this, but even with someone like Batman, he is a good man. But there is a not even selfish, there is a desire in there to offset the balance of what happened to him in his life and how he gives to others. It's a feeling we all know. You want better than what was given to you. That's not selfish. But that is a stipulation. Because something bad happened to you, you're motivated to do some good. And while that is the case for Superman in all iterations, that something bad has happened to him. It's not his motivator. So to just see good being done for the sake of it being able to be done in this moment was phenomenal. And I loved it. There is just this genuine air of value that he sees in everything. Monster falls down, he's about to hit a building, stops it. Monster falls down, he's about to smash this girl, stops it. Dog, squirrel, you name it. Property damage, that's no superhero's best friend. So, I mean, you kind of lose there. No, it's not. That's just the Grim Reaper of superhero. You don't really win that battle. But the lives, they matter to you. They matter to him. And because they matter to him, that value is imparted to you. It's great. I think the Ultraman thing was great also. I have no complaints about it. I've seen a lot of really, really bad evil clone type tropes. So I'm really not upset about this one. In fact, Superman has a very, very bad evil clone test drive that they try and do. So to see Ultraman, I was not upset. I found it very inoffensive. I think the name with the new universe is like cool. Again, because this is a new DC universe, I'm not holding on to anything being the way I remember that I want it to be. My mind is open. Ultraman being killed off this way, killed off, or being used in this way in this new universe, I'm not bothered. I don't really care for Ultraman in this original iteration in the first place. So again, unbothered. The engineer, I thought she was alright. She was alright. She came and went. She was she's very performative. Her actress did great. Didn't care for her much. It was not a sheer force of personality. She was just kind of there. I loved Jimmy Olsen. I loved him. He really does. They kind of sell this Jimmy as Clark's best friend, and he is. They have a really nice scene in the movie where they congratulate him on the front page. But I really did not expect him to stand on his own as much as he did. There's a whole little bit of information that they don't get without Jimmy, and you would think with Lois being head honcho reporter and Perry White being publisher, there's not really a place for a guy like that. But he makes his way, he makes his strides, and it's great. It's awesome. And you're just wondering, man, this is such a crowded movie. How does it all work? How does it all go? And it just does. It just does. And now we get to the part where I'm gonna lose people, and that's we got a bit of a political. This movie gets political. I hate to say it. That's what it is. It gets political. I don't even hate to say it. Fuck you. Superheroes have always been political. They are a window into our world to be the idealized versions of people we know that we can't be because we are simple men, women, children, sons, and daughters. You disliking a movie for the inherent purpose of it being political and maybe striking a chord with you as a real person just shows that you're not ready for the type of media that is being put out. Because all it is a reflection on the society that you've lived in all your life. It shouldn't make you angry to see how one-to-one things can be from a fictional world and your world. Introspection is good. Discomfort is good. You need these things to learn, adapt, and grow. So, for all the people who are vehemently, might I add, vehemently upset that this movie has gone the way of I want to say politics, but that's barely even like I'm overstating. You need to fuck off. You just do. Or don't watch it. Better yet, don't watch it and don't talk about it. Because half of you are just gonna sit here and protest and not watch the movie and then talk about how badly you hate a movie you've never seen before. Let's not be dumbasses. Let's be a little proactive in our brains. Anyways, Superman being tied into a political conflict is the perfect way to offset that claim that is made of a man with as many powers as he does not have an interesting story to tell because he's known for failing. One that's bullshit. I won't go into detail here, now, why that is bullshit, but that's bullshit. But when you have a giant storm cloud and you need water, you got to build a device to catch the rain. And that's what they do. This force of nature, this unstoppable powerhouse needs to do something small. He needs to help. And while he could use that immeasurable strength to go hit the tectonic plate, destabilize Barovia, and the Jantapurans could just run and leave, it disrupts the natural order of things. there's a point where they make about him representing the United States simply because he's from the United States. And he's not, it's not something he's ready for. He's taken off guard. He says, I'm not representing anybody. I'm representing myself in kindness and goodwill and peace. And those are ideas. And those are ideas that he carries. Those are ideas that he believes in. And I do believe those are ideas he supports. But the world is not ready to see the way that he sees. And because of it, it confuses him and it upsets him. And we get to see that. We get to see visceral reactions from this man, this larger than life man who wants only for us what he sees in us every day, to be kind, to be gentle, to be fair, to be together. And it's heartwarming. It's heartwarming. But there's so many stipulations that come with this. You threaten the president, and now you're a dictator. Is the president a bad guy? Hell yeah. Is he running a really corrupt, shitty operation? Hell yeah. But that's not the way that systems of order work here. When you topple them, you scare people. People need order to get by in their day-to-day lives. When something is above that order, they look to that thing to be their new order. We do not live long enough to stray off the beaten path and start our own. It's a generational thing that is made to happen. It's not to say that we can't or that we shouldn't, but it deviates from the norm. And because it deviates from the norm, it scares you. And that's what he does. He scares them. His power is to some a mockery of what it means to be a man. He, in All-Star Superman, Lex Luthor says that you're a parody of a man compared to him. And you can see that fear. It's really only instilled in Lex at this point, and maybe one or two of the Secretary of Defense ministry. But that idea of this thing becoming a threat is becoming more and more prevalent in the minds of these people, and they see it and they consider it. That's very good. That's very good. This is a standard Superman plot beat, but the way that it's handled is what shoots it out of the water. I'm being short and I'm being concise because I'm trying to make this manageable for people to go and watch. I think Krypto is a fantastic addition. I think Ultraman punching Krypto should have been kept in the movie. He's a bad guy. He probably won't make it to the end because it's a starting movie and that's usually how it goes. I don't think he'll live for anything. Metamorpho is amazing. I love the flourish of the powers. I love the way he looks. I like the way he talks. It's a little goof. It's a little goofy guy. The movie goes its own flow, sets its own pace, and I like that it's a big, bustling world already. I don't need things to be established right in front of my face to know that they're established. A text scroll like that, and I know how things work, I'm fine with that. Some people will call it lazy. I say, will you make that movie? Will you make that movie where all of the metahumans show up and all the voice actors get paid and all the actors get paid? You won't. Say what you want. I didn't need it. It didn't bother me. I liked the fluidity of the universe just intersecting at all these points. It's a big wide world. It's a big wide universe. It's known. I loved it. The embodiment of hope is not seen any more clearly than in this movie. There's so many shots of just like genuine flourishing, whereas in the Snyder films, it felt as though it was worship. In these ones, it just feels as though a goal, a pinnacle, an unreachable goal, but a goal, something to aspire to be like, something to aspire to be toward, something to be near, and you gain enjoyment, you gain happiness from being near that thing, that measure of success, of kindness. And really, if you're taking all of those things at the value that Superman holds them in, the measure of a man, the measure of a person, capacity for kindness, for care, for love and consideration, these are all things that embody this man that embody this movie, that embody these people. And it's beautiful. It's goddamn beautiful. I could talk in circles and circles, but I'm trying to be time efficient. What else will I add? I think the Lex Luthor monologue was a little weak, but I'm also spoiled. Of the Superman I did read All Star Superman, so I won't give it flack in that regard. Nicholas Hoult does an amazing job, absolutely amazing. I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. I'll probably cut it here. If we want to do a Superman deep dive, that's a different issue. But I will just wrap it up here and I'll sit down. Thanks, guys. Also, fuck everyone who was complaining about track 7. It's fucking music, dude. Come on. It's fucking music.